All right, guys, here we go. Welcome to the Marathon Hump. Everybody down here loves to go to the humps and fish for tuna, and a lot of times you run into mahi and other fish on the way out. So hang on till the end of the video, guys. I'm going to cover my basic load of rods and lures I like to bring when I'm heading to the humps. Grab your life jackets and hang on, and welcome aboard. All right, guys, we're out on the hump. The hump is back over here where those boats are. I'm kind of on the south end of it. Look at all the frigates here. If you're not paying attention, which I don't know, like this boat here is bonsaiing through it, you kind of, these guys are on something here. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 frigates, 5 frigates, something shaking right in front of the boat. You can see fish jumping, you see the frigates working it. Somebody's right in front of them, and wherever those guys are not paying attention and going, but we're gonna see what happens here. All right, guys, fish on. We just came, the frigates are right there. I just got the lures underneath them, and I got one hooked up here. It doesn't feel very big. But needless to say, if you're not watching those guys, look at all of them. Those are all frigates. Nobody else is looking at them. There's 10 other boats out here. All right, guys, very important point here. You heard me say, there's the frigates. I just got my lures underneath them. I do not drive the boat underneath the birds. I'll circle around the birds and drag the lures underneath them. But if you drive the boat underneath the birds, what happens is the boat pushes the tuna down. So you're better off keeping your lines just a little bit longer than normal and circling around the outside of the birds, and then driving the lines where they will come underneath. Another little blackie, little guys, man. He's just little. There he goes. Just got grabbed putting his back out. Shit. Just setting the bait back and I got hit. Got her on the rod. Lucky he didn't get, lucky it wasn't a great big one. He probably have broke her right off. Another little one. Another little blackie. Smacks it on the way out. Usually they don't hammer you right beside the boat like that, but this one was right behind the boat. A little bit of a rim shot, but he's gone. I'm gonna spin the boat here, get it going right. Uh-oh, double. That one might be a bigger fish. Yeah, this one burnt some line off here. Shit, this one's bigger. All right, for a second, get the boat turned. Okay, guys, so what I did here was I'm turning the boat to the left to cut the angle of the line with the fish so I can get him in a lot faster. Once you get a bigger fish on, you kind of want to work a little bit towards the fish. That way, that gives you the chance to reel them in or get them closer to the boat a lot faster versus being straight out. So now I'm at a more of a 90-degree angle with that one, so I can get him in quicker. Otherwise, the sharks are probably going to grab them. They really like the bigger tuna, especially. He was burning some drag. All right, guys, not going to say who bumped the drag lever here and got the line all tangled up. As I was rolling the one rod over the top of the other one, trying to get the lines uncrossed, is when I bumped the drag lever there and got her tangled up. What am I doing here? Oh, that's like 5 of these little turds. Oh shit, triple! All right, here we go, hooked up. I got a triple going. Seems about right when I'm on the boat alone. Anyway, so when you're out there, guys, and you burn across it or you get into the tuna, this is not uncommon where you hook 2 or 3 at the same time. Here I got 3 rods out, 3 fish on. You can see me just burning this tuna in. Anytime you're on or near the humps, guys, there's sharks out there most of the time. So you really gotta go full throttle, and it's a race to get them tunas to the boat because the sharks definitely love to eat the blackfin tuna. So you've got to crank as fast as you can to get that tuna to the boat before one of the sharks grabs them. Otherwise, you're going to be busy. All right, guys, I'm just finishing up on the triple here. As you can see, the boat's still moving. I got it moving pretty quick. When you're out on the humps or trolling in the area of the humps and you hook a tuna, you got a couple choices. Either you slow the boat down and stop it and get the fish to the boat as fast as you can, or in this case, I was off the top of the hump. I'm on the east side of it. You can tell by how the boat is rocking. That's where the turbulence after the water hits the hump coming from the west to the east, you're going to get a big upwelling. But it kind of depends on what you got going. I'm already off the hump. I hooked that triple. It seems like I get sharked most of the time when I'm right on top of the hump versus getting sharked when you're a little ways away from it like this. So when you're fishing by yourself, or even with other people, it's just easier to get the waves coming at you either at your stern when you're setting. So I've got them coming behind me now. I'm going to reset. But having them come in from the stern is just a lot easier. Notice the boat's not bouncing now. It's just a lot easier on you and your crew. Okay, guys, we caught that triple. I'm just working around the humps. Very typical out here. Everybody sits on the hump. Nobody watches. I mean, look at it. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 frigates here, and they're all bombing. Something's over here, I can tell you that. These are all frigates, guys, right here. All frigates. Definitely the little guys are out here today, guys. I'm looking for some bigger stuff, though. We might change up here. I'm going to do a couple more passes. We're going to change direction. The little ones are fun to catch. If I was chartering, we'd probably keep them, but I don't necessarily need the tuna today. But we'll work and try to get some biggers. All right, guys, I pulled off the humps here for a little while. You can see I'm trying a couple different things. Diving, you'll zero your plug there. And this is going to be the second run with the planer. That's a drone spoon, just a blue and silver drone spoon. Running it out, dropping a number 3 planer down, and the tuna absolutely will smack that drone spoon. I catch a lot of them in shallower as well when I'm trolling planers for wahoo and kingfish. If you run a drone spoon like that and you're going across a blackfin tuna or the bonita, they're going to drill that, guys. So that's not a bad idea to have this particular setup on your vessel, especially if you're heading out to the humps to do a little tuna fishing. It's a little planer experimentation day out here. Something's on there. Somebody's on there. Big thing with a planer, once you get it to this point, you got to keep that line tight. Well, this is what I was experimenting with today. That's a nicer one, actually, guys. I left the hump. There's too many guys on it. I left it. Nice tuna right there. All right, guys, couple captain's pointers right here. First of all, when you go to pick a tuna up or when you grab them, you want to turn them upside down. Hold them straight upside down with their belly up like that. You notice he quit doing the tuna wiggle as soon as I got him upside down. And right where the knife is pointing there, guys, when you do that incision right in between those gill plates, right in that V there, that's exactly where the tuna's heart is. Very important to bleed out all your tuna when you catch them. The meat is a lot better. I'm back here. Fish on! I don't know what this is. He's burning the top. He's got some shoulders on him. Oh, more jumping back there. Look at this fish jumping behind the boat. Holy shit, mahi. We got mahi burning up behind the boat. The other rod's going to get slammed over there. Yeah, I can't believe nothing got him. Oh, mahi just got hooked on the second rod. Boom, clips on. Airborne. Look at him go. Trying to get him above the planer. There might be one on the planer too, the way that's looking. Yeah, he's over the planer. All right, gotta do a little rod rearranging here, folks. There's one on this damn thing too. Okay. Not sure. Is he over it or not? I can't tell. Oh boy. Yeah, he's tangled up in it. All right. Got a mess, got a mess. See him, he got wrapped up in the planer on the way in. You see the mahi doing the cartwheel back there. Okay, so what I'm going to figure out here real shortly is that fish, as he's spinning around the other line. I had the line cut on the other reel handle there. He was spinning around, wrapping around the other line. So I don't know how many circles I got to do here, but it's a bunch to get him unspun, to get this fish kind of caught and put it in the boat. Kind of a mess. Not gonna lie. What the hell? What's going on there? I got at least 2 on here. Maybe 3. All right, buddy, hang on. All right. Got to get this guy up out of the way. I don't even know if he's still on there. Shit show, weird. All right. He's not having a good afternoon, I know that. I spun around that thing 4 or 5 times. Okay, it's looking like more like a dozen or so times versus 4 or 5 times on this program. I think there's one on the planer rod too, to be honest with you. One more time, guys. Damn. That mahi's not having a good afternoon. Okay. Do a quick measurement. I think he's legal, but get in there. Jeez. He's right on the money. I'm gonna let him go though. It was right at like 19.5 to 20.5, somewhere in there. All right, let's see. I think there's one on the planer rod. We'll get that next. All right, so the one on the planer rod actually got off during the fiasco. This guy will be hooked in his right side. That's why he's coming this direction. Get that planer to drop it for me. Coming right at the boat now. There he is. He's a little guy here. He's definitely a little guy. Get him up here, we'll pop him off right out here. He's about 18 inches. He's an aggressive little guy, but he's a little guy. There he goes. Hey guys, good morning here. Early morning marathon. I'm at the cleaning station. You can see behind me. And the boat lift. She's high and dry here. We are waiting on the new Falcon. Should be in within the next week or two. The vessel's just getting finished up, so we're going to be banging out some new episodes pretty soon with that. All right, so on today's video, guys, I'm going to go over the kind of stuff that I take to the Marathon Hump. Very, very kind of a simple boat load, but you need to be prepared for anything. As you're going out there, ideally, I like to try to troll for the tuna first initially. So if you want to do some jigging, that's a lot of fun to catch them with the jig as well. But initially, I would start trolling the hump first to locate the tuna. When you get into the big schools, you'll find them you'll see them on your sonar. So, but as we're trolling the humps, I got standard trolling rods. These are like a 20 to 40 pound class rod. Shimano Speedmaster reel. Any reels are going to work. Any rods will work, guys. I like these particular reels because they have a lot of line pickup. This one's a 16. Very good rod for trolling, for mahi, for tuna. The next rod, this is a planer rod. So this is a little more specific. It's got a roller tip on her. It's a 30 to 80 pound class rod. Again, another Shimano Speedmaster on it. And there's the drone spoon you saw in the video. So that... the tuna really like the drone spoons. So if you get out to the humps, and this is kind of a big deal. You're going to drive out there 28, 30 miles. You get out there and all of a sudden it's weedy and you can't troll. You better have a couple of these guys on board. These are the what I would use for jigging rods. I've got a pin here. I don't even know what size, but you can see this one's already set up. I've got basically a spoon that I can throw. And there's 200 pound mono on that thing. Because sometimes you'll be burning by a floater or something. There'll be wahoo on it. That stops them from cutting it off. You can see I got colored line on there. About every 10 meters, the line color changes. So either that style rod or this is a slow pitch jigging rod. It's little. It looks like it wouldn't handle much. I pulled a 7-foot dusky up to the boat one day with it after about a half hour, 40 minutes of fighting him after he grabbed one of my tuna. Just a little basic, I'd call it, it's a slow pitch jigging reel. If you're not familiar with this kind of tackle and haven't used it, I would recommend sticking to the spinning rod. If you're going to get into slow pitch jigging, this, you can see this particular reel, I'm right-handed. It's a right-handed reel. The eyes on the rod rotate. You see they're parabolic. They rotate over. They're rotating on the left side. If you're right-handed, you want your rod to rotate on the left side. If you're left-handed, you want to rotate on the right side. What that does is it balances out the rod as you're reeling it in. So some of my basic stuff, I've got a jigging box that I bring out there. So I got a variety of jigs and stuff in here. Ideally, I kind of like jigs similar to this for the tuna. You can even buy bulk style jigs like this premium one here, which I painted a little bit. He's been abused and used a little bit. So I add an extra hook on them. Most of them come with a pair of hooks. I add them on with again, that's 200-pound mono, and I crimp these on there. And what you're going to want to use is a live bait style hook. You can see it matches the hooks on there. But I do carry a box of jigs. I have a three jig rule out there. If you start jigging, that's usually where the sharks are on top of the hump. If I lose 3 jigs to sharks grabbing the tuna we're catching, we quit jigging. But initially, I like to troll the hump initially and try to work on finding the tuna that way. And if they're biting on the troll, then I'll stay on that. If not, then I'll switch to jigging. I carry a box of smaller, I've got a bunch of different lures, but smaller darts and stuff. Tuna kind of like these little guys, these darts. You can see in the video, I've got one of these in a blue and white. I've got friends that absolutely will not put anything else on but a black and red. But if all your trolling is black and red, I guarantee you 100% of your bites will be on your black and red. I do run the planer, and I'll run a little Yozuri Bonita, little small minnows once in a while out there as well. But you've got to have no weeds to run those. So this is kind of my basic tuna setup, guys. But you want jigging rods. You're going to want trolling rods. And if you know how to fish planers, bring the planer rod, because the tuna are generally down in the water column. That planer will get hit a lot out there. So just kind of a basic setup. But if you get out there and you don't have a jigging rod and it's too weedy to fish, and I've seen this, you're kind of screwed. You drove your boat. You're going to do a 60-mile boat ride is what you're going to do. So, and on the way out, on the way back, you guys, you want to be really prepared and really watching for what's going on. What are the birds doing? You know, you can see in the video, I'm a half mile to a mile off the hump. I've got 6 to 8 frigates bombing in front of me on the boat. One boat drives right through them. Nobody else is seeing them. Well, if you've got that many frigates on one spot, absolutely, they're on a big school of fish. There's no question about it. I mean, I'm burning through the frigates. I'm not even on top of the hump when I'm catching. I don't know how many tuna I caught on this episode, but it was a lot. It was well over my 10 limit, but I didn't keep that many. I was just kind of experimenting, doing some different things. So I'm going to do a video, guys, coming up on tackle here. A lot of you guys have been asking. I'm going to show you how to set up a planer. What's my basic tackle? What are some of my basic knots that I've learned how to use over the years, because there's a lot of them. Anyway, thanks for tuning in today, guys. If you have any questions, as always, just zip me a comment. I'll answer all my comments. You guys know that have been asking me questions. And if you like today's video and it's going to help you out a little bit when you're out fishing, give me a big thumbs up. It's Captain Matt, Marathon Sport Fishing, signing off for today.